Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Wombo podcast. I'm Chip Monk, and with me, as always, the Mr. Gimpy.
What up, Chip?
What it do?
Dude, it's just been sick for a week and a half, bro.
Yeah, man. I've been sick as well, man. This is not, I didn't tell you about because I don't want to bring you down. I don't want to try and one up your sickness.
Yeah.
Because like, mine hasn't been nearly as bad. I've just been like, man, I don't feel great. I probably shouldn't go to work because I don't want to spread the sickness with everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay indoors and like fucking ride this thing out. And that's what I've been doing.
Gotcha.
It's not too bad. It's like, for me, it's just been like general like tiredness, fatigue. I told you I was like going down like the YouTube rabbit hole. I started going down watching like terrible conspiracy videos where I'm like, oh man, this is probably not great for my mental health, but I love it, dude. Like it's just like so entertaining for me. Like I don't know, like I was watching this like YouTube clip of is it Penn Jillette, the magician?
Yeah.
He has like a show like BS and all this, and he was like talking about like how his daughter is like just kind of into conspiracy theories as like a fun thing.
Sure.
And I was like, and he doesn't really understand that. He's like a no bullshit type of dude. He's like, no, man, like you can't be, you know, you're playing games with like your mind if you like go down that road. But like, I don't know, I'm kind of, it's like a fun exercise of like imagination and just enjoying things, you know?
It's imagination in the real world, right? Like,
yeah, it's adding whimsical shit to like,
it's like
real life.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, but for in like your personal like head, right?
Yeah, whatever you're interested in. You're like anything like out there. Like if you go deep enough, you'll find some sort of bullshit conspiracy or a real conspiracy that's out there. Like I don't know, man. You know, society's like a conspiracy, man. We all conspire to make society happen every day. Everyone goes out and fulfills like, you know, purpose-filled roles to achieve a working community of people. Like we're all striving for an ideal idea of America, bro. America's a conspiracy, bro. Yeah, it was Flavor Aid, dude. Kool-Aid was added later on, bro.
There's that's funny. There's like this. So the Chris Rock live special happened last night. I missed it.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I'm gonna watch it after this.
Damn, I gotta watch that too, dude.
He does go in on Will Smith, I hear.
Okay,
but then
it's been a long time coming.
Before this, I heard like conspiracy theories on the Will Smith slap.
It's like an Illuminati initiation, like humiliation ritual.
We all know it's because, you know, Jada gave him a look. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, it's his handler, dude. It's the CIA playing mind games, controlling him. Yeah.
But yeah,
she dated Tupac Shakur. Just do the math. She went to Juilliard. Like,
yeah, right. So
just look into it, dude.
So I'm interested in looking at that, but it's nice.
Don't get into the Black Illuminati, dude. Don't do it.
I won't.
Is it called like Bufa? All right. Just don't do it, dude. It goes deep, dude.
So with me being sick, dude, like I work from home and you know, and I called into work, so you know I felt like shit if I can't even sit on my computer.
It's not possible.
So like fast-paced movement like really fucked me up. So like the day after I like canceled the pod last week, I woke up and I was like, yeah, I feel okay. So I ended up streaming that Monday. Should not have done it. I ended up beating Hi-Fi Rush. That game's amazing. It's basically Devil May Cry meets Jet Set Radio meets like a rhythm game. It's fucking great. Absolutely adored the game. And I pushed it too much, so then I woke up Tuesday just fucking dead. So I ended up calling into work for like 3 days and just chilling, you know, just trying to live. And as like the days went on, I felt like I kept getting like, you're supposed to get better as you go, right? No, I got worse, dude. Like my voice was completely gone one day. Like it's still not great right now, you know, but I feel much better outside of.
Sound a little bit like Marlon Brando, dude.
Okay with that. Should I start talking to Kal-El and
yeah, dude, dropping knowledge,
my son. But or is this the streetcar named Desire Brando? Is that?
Is it Godfather Brando?
Godfather Brando. Okay, I'm okay with that.
I feel like that's what most people know him from, right?
Yeah, but you know, film
massive movie star. Jeez, dude.
definitely. Sorry, try not to cough.
Bless you, dude.
Appreciate it. But yeah, man. Unfortunately, I didn't work on my games at all. I was to the point where I started painting over the run cycles with my kids. So I showed you what it looked like at first.
Yep.
So I still have that to finish. And really, with that game, it's just loading the sprites up and doing some testing, and that's pretty much done. So excited for that.
Nice. Yeah, I've been just also working on my game as well, just the bare minimum. I still got like one stage to complete, and then putting more stuff together. As far as like level design and all this stuff, I've been going really slow at it. I don't know. I've been trying to like branch out, watch more movies. I watched Super Troopers 2.
I forgot there was a 2. It looked bad. Yeah, How was it?
It was bad. It wasn't great. It just felt like they were trying. I don't know what they were trying. It felt like there was like
too late, right?
It's too late, but also it didn't recapture any of the magic of like, just cops having fun, messing around, like kind of like a Reno 911 type of situation. I don't know if you're familiar with that sitcom.
Oh, I love that show.
Where it's like, it's like a police station where it's like, I feel like Reno 911 kind of picked up like their spiritual torch and just kept running with it, and like, did like every angle and idea you could do with like that format to death.
Sure.
So there wasn't like a lot of fertile ground for them to attack on the second one. Then they just kind of like threw together some weird plot of like somebody discovered that the border markers weren't where they thought they were between the US and Canada. So they're like, this part by Vermont is actually a US part of the US. And Canada was like, yeah, you can have it. So then they're like, we got to bring you guys in to like help transition the area as it gets annexed back to the US. So it's like them versus like the local Canadian Mounties, but they don't really do much with that. And this whole plot with that happens like in the first, 15 minutes, but the first 5.5 minutes is just a dream sequence in the movie. And like, you kind of realize it's a dream sequence early on where you're like, all right, this is getting like more and more cartoonish and outlandish, where you're like, all right. So it just felt like they had like ideas for skits, but they didn't put it into a cohesive story. I don't know. It was okay. I
feel
can't
like
recommend
these
it.
stoner comedies of our youth with these late sequels just aren't good. Clerks 3, I watched it after you. You told me kind of what it was.
Yeah.
So I was so disappointed, dude.
Yeah,
but
I don't blame you, man. It was
but we still
it was
have
just
Clerks
a
1 and
downer.
Clerks 2. Yeah, it was just a huge downer.
Yeah, Clerks 2 is all right.
Yeah, J Clerks 2.
People were hating on Clerks 2 when that came out. It's weird that like Kevin Smith just decided he didn't want to do big movies anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like the more money studios give you, the less creative freedom and control you're going to have on like the final product.
Yeah.
The same thing goes with like video games. I think we talked about a little bit on this podcast where like this guy was, trying to get like some money, and then he was like reading like the agreement that the lawyer sent him, and he was like, "I'm going to lose like a lot of creative control over my own creation." And I was like, I don't know, like I commented on that YouTube video, and I was like, it's not nefarious though. Like they just want to make sure like you're not going to take like your IP and then like start doing weird or bad like things that would damage the brand. Right. That's why you need like, because like one part of like the agreement that had him worried was like you have to get approval now every time you want to use like the IP or licensing in any other media. And he's like, so I have to start asking permission to like make my own like YouTube videos like I've been doing. And I was just like, bro, it sounds bad, but like you would probably just have to do like a one thing to get it in perpetuity that I can like continue to make videos on my creation, my own idea and stuff. And I'm sure like the partner would agree to that. No problem. But it looks bad on paper where it's like, oh, they're not going to let me do this. Like, no, it's more for them to be like protecting themselves for like you to not take your character and be like, now I'm doing weird NFT or porno video games, or like now they're selling like liquor and cigarettes to kids. It's like, you have to give up like a certain amount of like control and freedom.
When you're being published, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to give up a little bit of your creative control to like try and reach a wider audience using like that marketing budget, using like those like platforms and ideas and leverages. What I was trying to explain to him though is like the biggest concern is like they don't really say how they're going to help you. Like, yeah, aside from like financially, like I feel like, I don't know if you've ever watched Shark Tank. It's usually where people pitch an idea. Usually the sharks give a lower amount than usually like the evaluation, but like they're like, hey, I'm going to help you with like my connections, my framework, like the different business to business like things I have going on for myself. It's not just like a signature here. I'm like, you're getting a business partner.
Right.
Whereas like a lot of people will just like take a publisher's like money, but like most major publishers have some sort of framework or ability to help you like leverage your game. They like help you translate it, get voice actors, like distribution.
Reporting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So all this other stuff, but yeah, it's the same thing kind of happens in movies as well. Like where the more money you take on for a project, like the less creative freedom you get, the more executive notes you get from like studio execs who have like 100 other projects that they're watching that exact same day. So it's and they're taking a lot of risks, like it could with their money, like not creatively, not artistically. Like their whole thing is to negate those risks. Like they don't want you to be out there making bold, wild decisions because like that's like adds more instability to the money that they could potentially get at the end of this. So it's like they're investing in you to be like a stable constant in a project. But yeah, man, that's the artistic trade off. And Kevin Smith was just like, man, I will just stick at like the $5 million budget. That's all I want. I can still make the movies I want. I can do what I want. It's just weird that like he hasn't really branched out. I mean, he's made like Tusk and Yogan Hosers and like all these other like
Red
smaller
State.
movies that Red State, like things that people probably haven't heard of. I haven't watched them. I'm not a big like horror film fan though, so I think it's inappropriate of me to just be like, you just make stoner comedies for kids stuck in the 90s, bro. You know, I feel like he's moved past that. I feel he also smokes way too much weed now. And he finds himself to be like the funniest man alive, which isn't always good. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like, hey, man, how about like just sober up for like 3 years? just stay sober for like 3 years, bro. Like you claim to not be addicted to weed and stuff. Just don't smoke with them for 3 years. Clean up, do some like clear-headed writing, because like a lot of it also seems to suffer from like that like lack of a coherent and consistent story through line for like plots, much like Super Trooper 2 did. It's like you have like good scene ideas and bits, but then like you don't like weave them together. Like they don't make narrative sense, you know?
No, and here we are on the Combo Wombo film critique.
Yeah, man. Well, it's all art, dude. It goes back to like basic fundamentals. You're gonna need like storytelling and stuff. Like the same thing can be said for like video games. If you like, you can see this in bigger games when they'll do like was it Fusion Frenzy or like Mario Party, where it's like a collection of mini games, WarioWare, where it's like you can play more with like smaller ideas and mechanics in video games in a way that you can't in a narrative telling story device of a movie.
Yes.
Where you can be like, oh, we're going to do like the mini game part now, and now you're going to do this part. Like you can be like in a hyper realistic game like Assassin's Creed or something, and then all of a sudden there's like a weird ass lock picking mini game, or like Resident Evil, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, now try and figure out this Russian nesting doll puzzle or this piano puzzle.
That
it's
Russian
like
nesting doll puzzle just fucked you up, huh?
Yeah, dude. I don't even know if there was one, dude. That's what I'm claiming. Whatever, it's whack. I don't know. I always wanted to make a game about the guy who like has to design the puzzles.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Who gives the order?
right.
I don't know. That's just like really funny to me. Where it's like, we need to hide the MacGuffin. All right, where do you want us to put it? All right, what we're gonna do is pull out this entire fire pit, and then we're gonna take 2 knights' armors, and then we're gonna have 1 gem, and we're gonna put this on the west wing, and then we're gonna have this green gem. We're gonna put this over the east wing, and like, but I have a really bad memory, so I'm gonna put a couple hints in here to help me out. He's like, what, dude?
Fucking genius.
Like, don't question me, guys. Just do it.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
There's probably I'd say a couple of big releases at the time of our last episode, and now Atomic Heart, made by, I believe it was a Ukrainian studio, or maybe it was a Russian studio or something. There's some like backlash with that game saying it's like supporting Russia, but that aside, that game looks great. It's been on my wish list for quite some time.
Damn.
I've been looking forward to it. Looks like the best of like the BioShock era, and just like on a new take of it with like crazy robot stuff. So I'm looking forward to that game. Wo Long came out, which is Team Ninja's kind of stab at a new Souls-like. It's like I kind of describe it as if Team Ninja made Sekiro. The combat is very parry heavy, and I've played to the point where I've got to the first boss, and it's fine. I'm playing on console at the moment instead of PC because the PC port has a shit ton of problems right now. So I'm playing it on the Series X at the moment, and I would say honestly, wait like a month to see if they fix the PC issues. Team Ninja's kind of been notorious for having really shitty PC ports in the first like month, and outside of like Neo 2, it's been the case. So I'd say if you're really excited for the game and you only have it on PC or you prefer it on PC, wait. Otherwise, you will be disappointed because there's performance issues. Just lack of PC controls. Like if you're just playing with a keyboard and mouse, you're gonna have a bad time with that game. But
I feel like that's a notorious
technical performance issues with like frame rates and crashing. Apparently, the game crashes like if you look at it wrong. So until Team Ninja's PC guys can get that fixed, I'd say hold on. So far, though, console side, no real issues. I think the combat's pretty fun so far. The what I have a problem with is the jump and double jump just feels too heavy. And I had a very similar issue with like Hi-Fi Rush. Their jump felt too stiff. I don't know what it is with jumps in the like last couple of big releases, but people aren't getting jumps right anymore, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's like a lot of it is like a float or like a double jump that people tend to add in to compensate for just bad jumps.
Bad jump, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, like ledge climb or grip. Like it seems like there's, I don't know, there's not as many like coyote frames either. It's, I don't know, it's like everyone has to
coyote frames for the people.
It's like when you like step off a ledge like a Wile E. Coyote and like you keep going for a little bit.
Yeah. So it's ledge forgiveness is what is the true name for it. But yeah, I love the coyote frame name.
Yeah, man. Like so, it just seems like there's less of that, and it's like become more precise. People just kind of forgot all these weird platformer lessons of like the last 40 years. They're just like, oh yeah, we don't need to. Like I don't know, we've always talked about this where it's like because platformers are such like a staple, like you understand like when it's bad platforming, like you notice it, like when something feels off, you maybe can't put your finger on like what exactly that is, but like you're like there's something just doesn't feel right, dude.
Yeah, very true. So far with Wolong, the combat loop has been very fun. You feel powerful in all the right ways. When you hit a parry off, there's this like spark effect, and your character kind of swaps places with the other guy if you do it correctly, and you have opens up to attacks, which is very satisfying. So I think the game. I was a big fan of Neo. I was a big fan of Neo too. So as I go in, I assume I'm gonna like Wolong, but something about the story presentation just is taking me out of it too. So we'll see. We'll see the further along I get. But
the only game I've seen that's coming out that kind of has me looking forward to is like that new Street Fighter
6, maybe.
Yeah. So I was watching like lore videos and stuff like that with my conspiracy videos. And I also watch Street Fighter conspiracy videos as well for possible hot takes on it. Because they have like time traveling and stuff in that game. The lore of Street Fighter gets wild. But yeah, the new game looks interesting, but it also looks like it might suffer from some of the same problems. Where it's just like it's more open world. It's like more of like create your own character stuff. At least that's what they've been advertising as like a big focus for it. And I don't know how you balance that, like for net play and stuff. And like I was talking to you about, and you're like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna let you bring some wonky ass character you made.
At least that's ranked. At least that's ranked. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
tournament wise, I could almost guarantee that they will not let you use your creative character in tournaments. So
it's bullshit. Oh man, it seems
good,
like
though.
Yeah, it looks like it's at least an interesting idea that they're trying. I just enjoy classic fighting games though. It's weird. It's almost like the Ubisoft Blizzard problem of like everything needs to be open world with mini-shins, daily login bonuses, of battle pass. We need to sell more skins or characters somehow. Like it just, I don't know. It just feels like, is this necessary for like a Street Fighter title? And I just don't know. Sure, why not? You know, that's what they're doing. They
Fighting
do.
games have a big issue of their core gameplay loop being arcade based.
Yeah,
So inherently, it's a short experience, single player wise. So that's why like story and stuff like that, like Mortal Kombat's been known to have the best story in fighting games and to keep you hooked. The JRPG or the Japanese, sorry, excuse me, the Japanese developers have an issue with that because they can, a lot of them can't get over like the arcade thing. It's just like, oh, your campaign is just like text blurb, and it's basically just next fight, next fight, next
that's
fight.
right, dude.
So there has to be a way to engage the player more. So this is Capcom's attempt, and I think it's their biggest attempt yet. So hats
You're
off to them for trying
deeper
something.
in the community, the fight community, than I am, dude. Is there like an outcry for like more story, lore based gameplay
Pro side,
from the
no.
community?
Competitor
Yeah,
side, no. But
but
here's the thing:
that's a small
the way
slice.
it's not a small slice because what actually drives us getting new fighting games is major sales, and you get major sales from including casuals. So you need
Yeah,
to draw them in.
that's
You
the
know?
Halo 3. You know, like that's what they did for Halo 3. They made like the online more based towards the casuals. It
Oh
upset
yeah,
like a lot of like the pros, but like sales wise, it's like one of the best in the franchise. But then like it's weird because then they seem to have lost all those lessons because I think when they're doing 5, they're like, all right, now we'll just work with pro teams to try
yeah,
and
that's
gear
stupid.
everything more for pros, and we'll
Yeah.
have like more like hard hitting, like fast twitch mechanical movements and boost. But then they're like, now we need to offset that for the casuals. So we're just going to start everyone with like a sawed off shotgun. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, this is weird. Like, so there seems to be like Halo 3s where they hit that peak of like general audience where there's still stuff in there for pro. And then there's like, it's more open to a general audience of like, it's, just accessible in a way that it hasn't been. And I know
Sure.
fighting games in general have been trying to become more accessible to a wider audience. You see like Mortal Kombat doing that with like how they tutorialize and like kind of teach you
Mortal
how
Kombat
to,
has one of the best tutorials for
yeah,
sure. King of
trying
Fighters
like,
is a very good one as well.
yeah. Like, oh, you see this across like all fighting games where they're like, we need to make this easier to understand from like more casual people to like get them up to like a better level. So that way they don't feel as like bad about getting stomped out. I don't, dude. I was talking to this, my coworker, dude. He gave me like this ridiculous nugget of knowledge that I just never thought about. He was like, the problem with ranked is you're only ever 50%. Like no matter how good or bad you are, you're only going to be winning 50% of the games because like if it's properly matching you, like you're going to be matched with like way harder or way easier people. So you're like over like a course of time, like when they rank you properly, you're only going to be like a coin flip always. And I was like, holy shit! I
That's
never really,
assuming your skill doesn't go up, though.
yeah, over
That's
time.
assuming
But
you
like
don't learn everything. You don't learn from your mistakes, though. Like
yeah,
sure,
but like you could go on like a streak, but like eventually, like when you get up to like pro level play, dude, like you're like, all right, you're probably gonna be winning. Like if it's like a well balanced game, probably about 50% of the time. Like you'd see this in like a lot of Evo tournaments and stuff where there's
well,
like
that's
guys who
human
go
error,
on,
bro. That's like not.
yeah,
It's not 50%. It's not 50%.
over a long enough course of time, dude. Like
No,
the
dude.
way these
No.
things are, I enjoy it. I'm keeping that. It's a nice hot take.
It's a decent take, but I mean, no.
All right, man. I'm just saying, dude. 50%. That's it. That's the all competitive online plays designed for you to have like the most mediocre experience possible. I think what people enjoy is like just absolute blowouts, but that's not fun to be on the receiving end of. So it's I don't know, we're in a weird spot. I know that they're trying to do a lot of stuff with like AI development for bots, better
Matchmaking. Yeah.
bots. Yeah. Matchmaking and just better bots, dude. Like
Okay.
I don't know. I suspect like a lot of online play might be bots right now, dude.
So I can tell you right now, like your buddy's 50% thought. Um, Look at Call of Duty's skill-based matchmaking right now. They're like, oh, okay, people like really close games, right? Um, like no one you don't want to sweat the entire time you're playing. Fighting games are different because it's always a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like you can't like counteract someone's base skill. But as a team game, like how the team stacks against the other team, you can kind of calculate. And Call of Duty's skill-based matchmaking, like the general public thinks that it's it's too tuned to giving you these sweat matches, which is just exhausting to play. Like it's not that you want a blowout, but sometimes you want a game that doesn't feel curated. You know, it's you want to like feel like you sat down with just people you never met and played, and just whatever happens. You know, you're not, no one's sitting down with like a bunch of sweats all the time. No one's sitting down with like a bunch of people who've never touched a controller in their lives either. You know, there's a balancing act with that.
It definitely feels like we're headed more towards like sweats for how they're designing online competitive play, but you know what? That's okay. People enjoy that. Like, the people love that for like Counter-Strike and like Valorant, like some of these like team-based tactic games where it's like people, and that's like on ranked, right? Like, so there's like different modes and stuff. There's ways that like developers try and mitigate this. They're like, oh, it was ranked mode, there's casual. There's different types of like, you can be like solo or like team-based. Like if you're with like a team of people, you only match up with other people who are also like teamed up already. You know, like if you go into a lobby with like a group, then you're gonna only come up against people who are also in a group, instead of being like, oh, we'll just like, you know, mix and match and willy-nilly throw people together. Like you know, it's tough problems that people are trying to solve. You know, it's above our pay grade, but at least they're thinking about it. It's harder to do, I think, for Capcom because they haven't tried to ever tackle like this type of weird problem. But I agree with what you're saying. I don't see them like having this in tournament play or ranked play.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's maybe open, maybe casual.
To go for your buddies too, thought it was like my win rate on Halo Infinite is way higher than 50%, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're just bragging, dude.
No, it's not even a brag. It's just like
it's just fact.
Is the rank not working? Because like last time I checked, I think it was like 87%, something like that win rate. I'm Onyx in both sides, you know, Rumble and Team. So can you account for that? You know, so you know, just a thought. You know.
I don't know. Do you play it like every day though? I think this is just like over. No. Yeah, I think over a long enough period of time, you're just gonna like that 80% is gonna dwindle that down to like a 53%. I don't know. It's like a slot machine mechanic, dude. Like you're gonna win 98% of the time, but the house always wins that 2%. You know, so slowly over time, it's gonna drop off.
Disagree because we're playing with humans, but. From a pure machine standpoint, sure, I can see that. Like you get bots that are about the same level. It's probably true. But yeah, dude, I think it's a decent convo, man. To save my voice, I think we're gonna call it here. Do you got anything you want to end it on? Just anything you wanted to bring up? Or did you have
any deep thoughts? No, I think that was it, man. It's,
any Jerry Springer final thoughts?
You know what? Is it M. Bison?
What?
That was it, dude.
Why you gotta cut off my final
thought, dude?
Mr. Gimpy, that's
Chipmunk.
We'll be back next week. Hopefully my voice is completely back. Appreciate everybody. Like, share, subscribe. Yo, bish.
Peace.
Here.